How long have you been writing for the newspaper?
Well, I had written for the Washington Post for 11 years, and actually now I write for USA Today, and I have a column with them called Family Kitchen, and it runs every other Wednesday in the paper.
Is Kim your editor?
Is Kim my editor?
Is there a Kim that's the, Ken Barnes was the entertainment editor.
No, I actually have actually one of the founding people at USA Today, my editor, her name is Brenda Turner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, because I know Ken Barnes for years, and he just left, and there's a woman who replaced him. Her name is Kim. I forget her last name. But I just thought maybe because you're doing, you know.
Yeah, what's really cool about what USA Today is doing right now is that they have expanded their health section so that it's basically wellness now. So they've included cooking content under that umbrella, which is really, well, great for me, but also it's expanding what they're doing.
So you've been writing for one paper for at least 11 years. You had another book out?
I self-published a book. It was in 2006 or 7, a little collection of holiday recipes, so Thanksgiving to New Year's.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
With little stories, yeah.
Do you ever think of expanding that?
I have, actually, because one thing is inevitable, no matter what size your family is and you know where you go or how you spend the winter holidays, there's inevitably hilarious stories and drama, and that's sort of what I focus on, and came up with a mini collection of recipes to kind of like get you through and still have a good time.
So this book has 52 menus, I assume one for each week.
Yes.
Oh, and there's a Joe LaRocca favorite here, Rocket Lasagna. It almost sounds like Joe LaRocca. Let's go to Rocket Lasagna and see. I mean, he's Italian, so, but I bet he's never had Rocket Lasagna.
Well, rocket is another word for arugula.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the Brit word for arugula.
Peppery green. See, now it's getting too vegan for me.
No.
Peppery green.
I know you have a farmer's market here.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so arugula is a cool weather crop. So once it starts, September hits, you'll be able to get arugula in greater quantities around here. And it is peppery, but great in salads, but it makes a terrific lasagna filling. It's very surprising because you got a little piquantness. Greens hold up. It works really well with the ricotta. It's really yummy.
But you've got it in the spring section, so it's also available in the spring?
Yeah, cool weather.
So it grows pretty quickly, I would imagine.
It does. I actually grow arugula in pots at home in Seattle.
In the house or outside?
Outside.
Outside.
Yeah.
That's it. Do you grow anything in the house?
I don't have the right sun for that. Yeah.
You have to have the sun or sun lamps, and that's expensive. And
yeah.
Yeah. But outside, Seattle is known for rain.
It is.
But you have plenty of sunny days.
Yeah, and this is the time of year. You know, you have really long days. I mean, even now in July, the sun doesn't set until 9 o'clock.
Okay, so this is an important question.
Yes.
Spring in Massachusetts, spring in Seattle, spring in Arizona. How does that work?
Well, that's a great question, which is why I didn't do this book by month, which was the original premise. I sort of talked this through with my editor and said, you know, spring in Arizona is going to be different from spring in New England, and so make it your spring, however that translates.
Oh, got it. Because I have friends in New Zealand and Australia, which was my next.
Yeah.
So they can just apply it to their season. It's a seasonal book.
Yes, sir.
But not just for Christmas. It's all 4 seasons.
Not just for Christmas, no.
The York Beach, Maine is up the road about an hour. There's a little restaurant that's been there since I was a kid, 4 Seasons. It's just kind of,
yeah.
People don't think in terms of seasons. Everything's in months or days or years.
Well, you know, Joe, we've gotten so far removed from Mother Nature and what she does in our own backyard as it relates to the food, you know. Mm-hmm. And so this is a way of getting a little closer and making those connections. It doesn't have to be all new agey. It's just learning what grows when and then eating it when it's best. I mean, it couldn't be more simple than that.
Now, these farmers markets, I've never been to one. I go by them all the time. It's not my thing. I'm on the go.
Yes, sir.
I do this stuff, and that's my thing. But Winchester has it right in the center of town, and Medford has it in the center of town.
Okay.
They're very popular because I see online in the Yahoo groups where people correspond, they all rave about the farmers market.
Right. There's actually more farmers markets in the U.S. than there has been in a generation. There's now more than 6,000
That's a very good
across
thing
the country. Yeah, it's a very good thing.
because it's getting people to think about veggies.
Well, it's just getting people to think about their local food sheds. You know, when you go to the farmers market, you're actually going to have a better chance of having a conversation with the person who grew or raised the food that you're about to buy. So if it's not, pasture-raised pork, it could be the arugula for the lasagna. And you're going to learn about, what the growing season has been like. Has it been raining a lot? Why is it costing this much versus last summer? And you start to develop more of a relationship with the food that you're putting together at dinner.
That's fascinating because we're like living in these science fiction movies. Avatar, we have to understand Mother Nature from a science fiction concept, someone else's planet, someone else's home. And when we should be considering every aspect of our own, the water we drink.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to get on my high horse, I would say that collectively as a country, we have fallen asleep at the stove. And that we need to wake up a little bit. And, that room that's collecting dust that we only use to make coffee in the morning, let's open those drawers, bring out the cutting board, and maybe commit to cooking with our hands once a week and see how that feels. There are lots of folks who only cook at Christmas. And, it really does help you connect.
They're the same ones who only go to church at Christmas.
Perhaps. Maybe, I don't know.
I threw your train of thought off, sorry.
Yeah,
but
that's okay. I mean, I guess my point is that when we cook, and we cook with some type of regularity, we are connecting with not only perhaps the food that we just bought, whether it's at the supermarket or at the farmer's market, but we're nourishing ourselves, we're nourishing maybe the people we love or our neighbors. We're sitting down, we're having a lovely conversation, we're talking about our day. We have forgotten how beneficial that is, whether it's meat or no meat. Let's try that, see how that fits.
Well, it's an interesting week to have you here. Even though I've known for a month you would be here, there was no parallel. I was at the supermarket and I said kiwi fruit. I've never had a kiwi before. I bought 2 of them.
Okay.
They were inexpensive enough. And then a cactus pear. So the cactus pear and one of the kiwis is still in the fridge.
Okay.
And it was odd. It's not what I'm used to. I like pears. I like apples.
And they're just coming into season.
Kiwis?
No,
pears.
Pears. I mean, they're not far behind.
Yeah.
You'll have them soon up this way.
But a cactus pear, and I'm thinking, wow, right in the supermarket, there's these exotic kind of things that I just been ignoring them. So let's try something different. It's going to be healthier, probably. We don't know what pesticides are on them. I do wash my produce when I get it home, of course. But it was a new experience, and so. And then last night, it wasn't that I did a Meatless Monday, it's that I bought a package of them, I had half of it, the other half was in the freezer, so I decided let me have this. And I just wanted to make something at home, and then I made gnocchi, but the packaged.
Yeah.
Now see, my Nana lived to be 100. We lost her in 2000, but she has a little cookbook. Her recipes were unbelievable, so her gnocchi, no one's gnocchi is like Nana's,
It's hard to make.
Yeah, and she was born in 1899, so she really goes back to the old world.
Wow.
And so that's a treasured memory, growing up all those years with Nana living to be 100 and making us all those delicacies all those years.
Yeah. Well, and that, what's stopping us? We keep talking about how busy we are, but we have plenty of time to look at our electronic devices. We have plenty of time to plug in our iPods. We have,
Well, I think the kids are all really focused on the electronics. I think people as you know, in my age group, I'm using the computer because I write stories. And so it's just necessity. And I can type better than I can write. So I'm not looking for excuses, but I like to go to the gym. I like to do the show. I have my compartmentalized life. And a lot of it is spent on the computer.
Right.
But it's not a distraction as much as like, I don't have time to cook, and cooking's not my thing. Your book makes it simple.
Well, that's my hope.
Yeah, you know, it's really arranged nicely. I like the size of it. Did you have to agree to the size, or did you?
I actually lobbied for that size, and I didn't want a hardcover book. I wanted a softcover book so that people would actually dirty it up in the kitchen. That was definitely part of my vision.
Very good, because a hardcover might not have made it into the kitchen.
Yeah, too many of them don't. And
This is like a nice cookbook, but like you said about farmers markets and interacting with people, you've got your little details up here, which makes it a little bit more personal.
yeah,
Are the columns like this when you write the columns?
Yes.
Okay, so this is what you've been doing.
yes. This is part of who I am. This is how I like to teach people and get them excited, and I share my enthusiasm and lessons learned and experiences along the way. That's the kind of cook and writer that I am.
Now, you're going to go visit Kate Genovese up the street at the Woburn Media Center. Kate's an author of 4 books,
Okay.
and she's amazing. One of her colleagues was on my show, Marie Cody. Marie is a columnist. She did stories from Woburn. So where you're going is, you know the movie A Civil Action?
No.
John Travolta. It was about
Oh, yeah.
that was Woburn, Mass.
Okay.
So you can drink the water here. But the water in Woburn, there's a movie about it.
Okay, I'll remember that.
Do you ever see Erin Brockovich?
Yes.
Oh, I love that performance.
It's a great
by,
movie.
You know, she's just so terrific, and she got the Oscar, I think, too.
I think you're right, yeah.
So, you know, when the lawyers are sitting there, they got them lined up, and it's all a dog and pony show, and then Julia Roberts puts the water there, and Miss Sanchez is about to drink, the lawyer. And Miss Sanchez, we brought that infused special from well number 6.
Excellent.
She's like, this meeting is over. Just a great moment, but water. We don't even know where our water's coming from anymore. We got this from the nice little cooler out here at Windcamp, so I feel kind of confident about it. But you know, Poland Springs, is it really Maine? You know, we don't know.
Well, you know, you're touching on a bigger conversation,
Oh, yeah.
which, you know, is about how industrialized our food system has become. And, you know, there's actually a food safety scare once a week, and that's been
In
the
the country?
going rate for the last 24 months. And, you know, I'm sure you remember last summer the enormous egg recall, 500 million eggs recalled. You know, that's just crazy talk. You know, that is science fiction, in my opinion. Like, that is not what should be happening. We should not be scared all the time. And it speaks to a lot of stuff, but, you know, we, as consumers, as eaters, as cooks, you know, it's important to stay as current as one can. I feel like that's part of my job. What, you know, I share is what I can. To stay local is a really good tool. It is effective in sort of knowing a little bit more about where your food comes from. You know, the anonymous crate of eggs versus a crate of eggs from someone who may live down the road is it's a big difference.